I am Sapon Emmanuel, and a data science and business analytics intern at the Sparks Foundation. We have been tasked to predict the percentage of a student based on the number of study hours. And here's what I have. First of all, I imported the necessary dependencies or the libraries I'll be needing, such as pandas for data manipulation and analysis, NumPy for working with arrays and matches, and we use machine learning sklearn, yes, to work with our model, and we also use linear regression model from sklearn and matplotlib to work on some visualization. And also we used R2 square and mean squared error metrics for the evaluation. So first of all, I read my CSV file, and here's the path of my file on my local desktop. Yes, and I just use DFA to check the first 5 rows. So this what the data set means. If a student study for 22.5 hours, you have a score of 21. If you study for 5.1 hours, you have a score of 47, and that goes on and forth. So df dot shape to check the number of rows and columns. Df dot describe to check the statistical information of the data set. And this one, df dot snarl to check whether our data set have some null values. And we plotted it using matplotlib to plot, as you can see with the visualization, the number of hours spent studying, the higher your score. As you can see, one have a very least score, but compare that to nine has a very high score of 90. So the number of study hours you study, the higher you get in your exams or any other thing. So I splitted the data set into training and testing data. Then I called my linear regression model, trained my data set, and I used the linear regression to plot, how do you call it, a line of equation. Basically, this line of equation finds a best line for the data set to use to predict. Yes, and I also plotted actual values against predicted values. As you can see, this is what the linear model predicted, 37.6, but the actual value is 30. You see, the difference is very, very minimal, and that means our model is doing well. Our model is really doing well. You see, the score of our testing data is what? 85.9. That's okay, quite okay. And that means our model is doing well. And we also did another evaluation on the model. So our real task was to predict the score of a student who studies 9.25 hours per day. And using our model, we got 94.76%, which makes sense. It really do make sense. You see, as I said earlier, the higher you study, the higher your score. And nine, yes, so let's make some analysis. A student who studied for 8.5 hours had 75. So it really makes sense if a student will get 94.76% if he studied for 9.25 hours. Thank you very much for your audience.